Okay, this week's Street Talk. Only 6 stories this week. It felt like some weeks it just goes on and on. Like last week there were little spotty bits all over, but this week it was definitely the Wicked Stepsister which took centre stage, which I absolutely loved. I'm sorry, and I know that there are people that hate this story and think it's just silly and full of plot holes, but this is exactly the sort of thing I love in Coronation Street. Silly, campy, twisty, violent, sneaky, lying to the police, people being stupid.
Blood in the carpet.
I thought it was fantastic this week, and I'm again really really glad that the Dobbs Stake family have got a big meaty story to get their teeth stuck into, which also means more Evelyn, of course. But we're talking about that one first. Next up, I was in many minds about what to call the winter goings on this week. It started off being a bit of the Kel horror, but I don't know. Have we seen the last of Kel? I don't really know. And then I was trying to come up with a pun based around firing squad to do with the fire in the quads, but I settled on Bernie out because we had Bernie in and now she's left, so Bernie out, why not? Up next we've got Timbag 2, the return of Charlie to the street, and then excellent move by Coronation Street getting her back in. I'm very very much looking forward to seeing more Charlie scenes in the coming weeks, and that kind of as well going on with that. We've merged in all the Crank and the Franklin stuff, which is still bloody going on.
I was reading my predictions that I said from the prediction show, and one of them was definitely Charlie comes back and makes trouble and wants
you did, didn't you?
Money.
Absolutely right. Another new storyline title. This is a stupid one as well. So this is based around Alia getting a job at the management's position in the bistro, and I've called it, "Can we have an Alia appointment?" Thanks. Thank you very much. We had a little bit more of the Baby Shark story,
which they stole.
And
Coronation Street also thought of that joke, and I'm mad.
I don't even think we thought about it. I think I stole it off Digital Spy Soap Forums a few weeks ago, but we claim it.
Okay. All right then.
And then I think Gemma, I don't want to count all my chickens before they're hatched or anything, but we may have seen the last of Shona in the Shona Goes Comatose story. I think it's safe to say
it's because
at last Julia's on a maternity leave.
We offended her last week with making jokes about her not knowing what was going on. And you put him Monty Python.
I thought that was a funny video that I put on Twitter, and it didn't get very many likes at all.
I think sometimes we have really underrated tweets that don't get anything. Like the hilarious one I put up about, is Hope in the attic? That's a classic Stape move. No. And then you write something like, who wants to kick Jeff in the balls? 800 likes.
800 likes.
What's wrong with people?
Car reviewers very violent, and maybe they don't understand the Monty Python.
They don't understand it. I didn't know it. I don't.
Gemma did not get the
my
find the tweet out and I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to make you go and search it out, listeners.
Huh?
My Monty Python tweet. I don't want to explain my video.
No.
Our listeners.
Tell you why.
Find it out.
Michael, because it's not funny when you explain a joke.
No, shut up, it is. Right, I'm going to do the Wicked Stepsister this week. Do butt in if you want to say something, Gemma, because I would have liked this. I wanted this to be like most of the on Wednesday's episode. I enjoyed it, but it was because of this. And I was like, I don't need the Maria stuff. I don't need all this.
I'll tell you one thing.
I could have just done a whole episode to do a Jade story.
That we really like about the early Corrie episodes is that they're all just one thing. Almost all of them are just like, here's one thing that happens. And you would think that would be really difficult to do 20-minute story of and rope those all together into an ongoing narrative, but it's perfect.
I don't know whether they were more like that in the day or whether it's because these are the special episodes and they've chosen those ones.
They're really good.
I'm sure the equity strike has also got something to do with it. It's like we've only got 5 actors on the cast at the moment. One story is all we can manage. Right, so on Monday, if you remember last week, Fizz and Jade had a bit of a barney out in the street with Jade saying, everybody's going to know the truth. You're just trying, you abused me. I can't remember what she said, but they had an argument about something.
All you hear when women talk is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but Fizz is worried that now everybody on the street is going to suspect her of being a massive child abuser. Ty and Fizz say they miss each other. Ruby misses her as well because Fizz has had to move out, remember? And they're like, why on earth is Hope still going along with Jade's lies? So,
because she's an annoying child.
Speaking of Jade, the sneaky woman catches Hope in the yard. She pops her head around the gate and is like, right, make sure you keep your phone on, love. Just have it on silent. Because Hope's like, I can't, they'll find it. But yeah, she's keep it on silent. But I think that's a bit of a worry as well, because she still might hear the buzzing. Mode. Yeah, definitely.
You can't actually make phones silent, can you, really?
Can you have vibrate off and ring it off?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
Well, I put it on Do Not Disturb now during the day, so you don't get any texts.
Anyway, you do. I've noticed you've not been replying my texts during the day. I feel
it's because you made fun of me.
What?
You made fun of me and you said that I don't get up till noon. So I'm not going to reply to your text messages.
Anyway, Jade tells Hope...
You are abusing me by spying on me, is what you're doing.
I'm not. Jade tells Hope, hang on in there, love, because we're off on a big adventure soon.
She gave her that poster of the kitten holding onto the branch. It says, hang in there.
Exactly. So,
she didn't really. She should have done.
Ruby and Hope and well, most of the rest of the family actually go on a little walk later, and Ruby's like, I want to go and see Jade again because we play hospitals, doctors and nurses, something like that again. She does proper bruises with makeup and everything, and Hope's like, shut up. And they're like, oh, what are you talking about?
Well, if I was with parents, I'd be like, first of all, you don't go to hospital because you've got a bruise. So that's rubbish.
Yeah. I love how Ruby just blurts out things. Like, she had many weeks when she could have said this, but she decides that now's the time to just...
stop her right in.
She's like, this story is going on a bit long. I feel that some of the fans are getting restless and think it's dragging on. I don't want this to be a feeling situation here, so I'm just going to come out and say Jade's been painting bruises over Hope.
What she said was, in her mind, there's not enough Ruby in this.
All scenes could be improved by more Ruby
just coming in like going, you broke a rule.
She needs to bring that one back out because there's certainly been some rule breaking this week.
Why aren't we all wearing t-shirts that have Ruby like pointing a finger at you going, you broke a rule?
That was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
I don't care. It lives on in my heart.
My number one Ruby quote.
Ruby,
stick it on a mug.
Forever fresh.
Ruby, also I think Ruby's catchphrase this week was, I need a wee. I'm sure that was at least twice she announced her desire to go to the toilet.
I don't know whether
was that in the script or just... Oh, yeah. Anyway, Cassie, the social worker, is right over the next scene, looking through the evidence following this revelation from Ruby, and then they see the photo of the bruises, and Tyrone says, oh, hang on a minute. I also want to progress this storyline. I've got a photo of Hope at the same time because that's when she was going back to school. Look, let's have a look at it together. There's no bruises on there. Case closed.
And I love the, like... I know that Evelyn is Tyrone's grandma, but she's kind of like a mother-in-law. And I love Fizz's little dig at her, like going, I'm so glad I didn't put a cardigan on like you told me to.
I know. And then Tyra also remembers that Hope was taken to Dr. Gaddis's the same day, so maybe old Susan remembers seeing something. Cassie's like, I'm going to go over there and check. Sadly, we didn't get to see Dr. Gaddis this week, but we did find out that she confirmed that there were no bruises when Hope went to go and see her. But then Cassie goes over to school to see Hope, but she's just stayed as clammed up as ever. She is determined not to drop Jade in it. So, again, very fast plot progression in the next scene. They're just throwing revelations at us.
And I have to say, also, not predictable like I thought it was going to be.
No.
I always think, like, quite often when I'm watching a story like this, I'll go, wow, obviously, what's going to happen is blah, 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 like the most generic thing, because I haven't obviously got any imagination. But this was like, oh no.
So the next dangling thread that was tied up was this phone of Hope's, and I was expecting somebody to find it or something, but no, they're just, Hope and Ruby just happen to be fighting over her bag, and then the phone comes flying out. And Tyrone sends the girls right upstairs, and he and Evelyn read through all of Jade's messages that she's been sending to Hope these past few months, like saying that Mummy doesn't love her, we'll be together soon. It makes it sound like it's some kind of suicide pact or something.
Yeah.
They didn't mention that, but I mean, it could have been, you never know. So Fizz and Tyrone get Cassie to come over again and get the truth out of Hope, to try and get the truth out of Hope. And Ty's like, remember when you had cancer? You remember when you looked different? Remember when we had the best Christmas ever?
Yeah, do you not remember this?
Yeah. your mummy
Yeah.
loves you, and she sat by your bed and she read you stories and she held your hand when you were sick.
But to be fair...
What?
You got to do that, haven't you? Otherwise you're like...
Yeah.
You're an evil monster.
Like
you can't be like...
Well, Sinead's mum didn't sit in with her when she had cancer and read her story. She just showed up at the last minute.
Well, she's just been sensible. She's like, I'm not going to get attached if it's going to die.
She also made a robot costume for her or something. I would have just got old Summer to do that because she loves a good robot, doesn't she? Anyway, Cassie continues to press Hope very gently, and finally, hallelujah, she confesses. She starts spilling the beans about it. And these bruises, yes, they were fake and everything. So then we get to see Jade in the interview room later at the police station. She said, yeah, I gave the phone to Hope because she wasn't safe with her parents. I needed to be able to contact her. She needed a hasty exit plan, like that bit in The Line of Duty when the police officer's getting questioned and he gets all the policemen with guns outside to go and shoot the window so he can get out. You remember that scene, everybody?
No.
Loved it. Anyway, the police don't let on... I don't think they let on that they know about the makeup, did they? Did they mention that? Because that didn't come up again, but I assume it would have done later. You said...
What?
Well, the police have said, we know about the phone and the messages, but you pointed out that they didn't mention...
Did I?
The bruises, yeah.
I don't think it's relevant.
No, I don't think it's relevant. I've written it down. I thought it would be relevant, but maybe they did mention it. I don't know. Anyway, they let Jade go for now, but say under no circumstances should you try to contact Hope. Anyway, next, Fizz comes home. She's allowed back again. All accusations against her have been dropped, nice and speedy, Weatherfield Police Department. Well done. Immediately, Hope asks for her phone back. She also wants Jade. She gets upset when she's told that, I don't think it's for the best that you see her again. So she stomps off up to her room, grabbing Fizz's phone off of the table on the way. And I think there were some viewers that I saw on the internet that missed that she did that because...
Loads of people were going, where did she get the phone from?
Yeah, it's Hope's phone. It was on the side table by the phone. Goes up to her room.
Don't worry, that's what we're here
rings
for.
Jade.
To tell you about everything you missed.
Yes, we pay so much attention. We never have to rewind a scene and
go,
what they're talking about then.
By something.
Anyway, when Fizz and Tyrone think Hope is asleep later, she gets out of bed and puts on her coat.
No, what?
Hope, that is, not Fizz. Yeah, so Hope is on the run. Wednesday, pancakes for breakfast. Jade Dobbs state, and Fizz remarks that the door was open this morning. You need to be a bit more careful, Evelyn, or somebody she accuses.
You leave the door open all the time.
I don't. I sometimes leave the front door open. Ruby comes downstairs and says that Hope's not in her room. So they're like, bloody hell, where's she gone?
Bloody hell.
Please come over, get all the details. Meanwhile, another set of officers are heading straight over to Jade's flat, who... And I've written here, she acts all worried, but now looking back on it, she was all worried.
I know, I got so confused by this.
There was very nice twists.
Yeah, totally convinced that Jade had just got Hope, stuck her in the attic.
Well, that's what they wanted us to think as well, because
she kept looking at it nervously.
Yeah, well, the scene ends. Well, she's all throughout the scene. She's like, "Oh, Fizz, this is all Fizz's fault. She's so neglectful. Doesn't know where her daughter is." They do a thorough search of her mansion that she lives in, despite not having any money or job or anything. She doesn't live in a mansion. She lives in a normal
house, but we don't. So
she's got stairs, Gemma.
I know.
She makes our house look like a hovel. Anyway, so the scene ends with Jade looking upstairs. And that was interesting as well, because you know that Lottie did a couple of spots on interview shows this week.
Yes.
She was on The Rain in this morning or something like that, I can't remember. Apparently, Philip Schofield, the Scof, got his knickers in a twist on This Morning by saying, "But you just spoiled it. We're going to play a clip of tonight's Corrie." Oh, well, obviously she's in the attic then. Thanks, Coronation Street. You've just revealed where Hope is. She's clearly in the attic. But that's what they wanted us to think, because that's what we all thought when we saw it as well.
Schofield, you flippin' idiot.
And that's what Fizz thinks later. Do we get to this bit? Yes, we do. Because meanwhile, while all the residents of the street are organising a search party for Hope, Fizz finds the clue. Now, if they are looking for a new detective at a police station to, whip McKinnon and that lot into shape, I think Fizz should apply, because she finds a copy of Paradise Lost in Hope's bedroom. And somehow manages to, from that, conclude that Hope is in Jade's loft. And I know you're wrong on everything, she's wrong on everything, but, I mean, she got pretty darn close. It wasn't like they'd crossed off Paradise Lost and renamed it Paradise Loft or anything. No. The truth was that... Now, what was it? So I didn't write it down. I just thought I'd remember it because it was so stupid.
"Oh, Paradise Lost. This is the book that John was reading when he kept
spying on me in the attic.
Spying on me in the attic. Perhaps Jade knows about that and has left it as a sick joke to reveal her plan to hide your child in her attic.
I know there are a few things that were explained between Jade and John in today's episode, but that whole thing how does Jade know about what book John was reading really wasn't, unless John really was writing to Jade all this time and said, I've just read a really good book while I was spying on Fizz in the attic.
Fizz's logic here was about the calibre of like internet forum people trying to work out conspiracy theories about...
But you know what? If you put an infinite number of monkeys in a police investigation room with a load of bits of string, eventually they'll solve...
They'll connect the dots.
They'll solve... What's a good unsolved crime, Gemma? You're my crime
there's
lady.
Loads of the... where's Madeleine McCann? That's a good one.
Yes.
And it's relevant to the story.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to find Hope sort of walking around basically the set area. So Fizz takes it into her own hands to go over to Jade's place, breaks in, and goes right up to the attic where she finds not Hope, but a travel bag with various bits and bobs inside, including spare clothes, Hope's passport, and ferry tickets to France. She's going to do a bunk. We were all ready here down south to like head them off. We'll go to Portsmouth. We'll stop that ferry. Are there ferries to France from?
Yes, from Portsmouth.
No. Nowhere up north, is it? It's not like a really long journey. From like,
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I don't know. Southampton is the gateway to the world, everybody.
But you can't go to France from here. You can go to like...
You can go to
New York. You can go to the Caribbean. You can go to the Mediterranean. You can go around the world, but you can't go to France.
It's flipping ridiculous. Because although it probably has saved us money, we would probably go to France a lot more if you could just go
Not
there.
anymore.
But anyway, that's why this is the place to go. But that's why Peter's a Portsmouth fan, isn't he?
So is Christine Hardman.
Oh no, Christine Hardman went to Southampton, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christine Hardman and Bill Webster and Alec Gilroy. There's loads of Coronation Street people that are down here in Southampton.
Can't move from.
I digress. Jade turns up. Now this is where the twist starts to and make me think, is she just pretending to search for Hope? Where is Hope at the moment? Has she left her unaccompanied up in her attic or something? I don't know. And then
she's like, hide in the attic. If anyone comes, pretend to be a ghost.
Pretend to be a bag.
I bet she'd give it a good old go, wouldn't she?
She would.
She's a trier.
She really wanted to get away from Fizz and Tyrone. Anyway, Tyrone doesn't believe her at first, but Jade swears that she doesn't have her, and Tyrone's starting to believe her. And then Jenny comes along with a cardigan that she's found in a ginnel and says, this might be Hope's, I don't know. And while Tyrone's investigating
stealing children's clothes.
Jade does a run, and there's probably a really cold child running around there looking for their cardi.
The fact that all the Weatherfield people were in a search party.
I liked that. It was a nice community thing.
They all had a WhatsApp group.
Yes. Oh, to be a fly in the wall inside of what? I don't know. What do you call that?
Bite in cyberspace.
Yes, exactly. But no, I did appreciate that how there was a whole community together. You don't get that
you
very
said
well.
It felt like old school.
It did feel a little bit like Gemma,
yes,
who was in this search party in a scene together. But Toya and Imran, the first time we've seen them for like... I know, they had lines. They said things. I don't know if they said anything to each other, but they stood next to each other and said things.
Romance is still alive.
Yeah, they were in it for a good 10 seconds together.
Yeah. I wanted there to be more flaming torches, because I really feel like if you're going to get a group of people together to search in the dark, you need at least... 4 or 5.
Probably not a good idea to take a load of flaming torches on a search for Hope, though, because you might
she'll come to it.
Oh yeah,
she'll be attracted like a moth to the flame.
Literally.
Yeah, she'll come out and go, ooh.
I don't know whether she'd come out and just knock it out of your hands and then
run off with it.
The whole place would be ablaze. Yeah, she'd be
like one way to find out.
She'd be like Batman hiding above in all the buildings in Gotham around, and she'd just come down, sweep the torch, and then go back up again, and then she'd gradually have this collection of torches that she'd be nicking off of the search party.
Wouldn't it be obvious to find her then? Just look for the giant flaming torch.
Never
mind. You said
you
wouldn't want this to be a long episode.
I don't want this to be a long episode because the podcast have been incredibly long recently. But I just am enjoying this storyline. I can't help it.
It's because you get
Wait until we get to the Maria storyline. I've got nothing to say.
You got two losers here, sitting here with nothing better to do on a Friday night than talk about Coronation Street for literally 4 hours.
You love it.
So of course you're going to end up with that length of time of a podcast.
So anyway. I was saying that Jade does a bunch while Ty's looking at the cardigan, and she goes to the graveyard, goes to see John's grave, and she notices a little flower's been put in there, and I think that must have been Hope that's put that in there, but Hope's not around. But then she pops up and she's like, "Can we run away together now?" So it sounds like she's been camping out all night in this graveyard, which sounds like your perfect thing to do.
That's something I would have done.
Halloween sleep out. So Jade is just incredibly, overwhelmingly relieved to have found her. She's freezing cold. She comforts her. She's still going on about running away. Hope is. Back at home, meanwhile, Fizz is telling the police about this bag that she found in the attic, and they're like, "You probably shouldn't have broken in, but thanks for the info, because we didn't think to look there."
I know, and also it's like, well done.
You made us look bad.
You can't use any of this for evidence, though. You know that, don't you? Because you stole it, and your fingerprints are all over it, and we can't prove whether you planted it here or not.
Look. When your baby's been stolen, or your child, or whatever, your mummy bear instinct's going to kick in, you don't think. And I think that's Fizz's excuse for quite a few of her actions this week, including at the end of this episode. Anyway, Tyrone comes back in, and he tells them about seeing Jade, and Fizz is a bit peeved with him that he let her get away. But luckily, one of the police officers says, "Oh, there's been a sighting of a girl matching Hope's in the park or something, I think."
Do they mean the park that has graves in it?
I don't know. I don't know whether they ever concluded whether it was just somebody else. It's probably a child looking around saying, "Has anyone seen my cardigan? It's a bit chilly out here."
It's like, the policeman finds her and she's like, "I'm lost. I don't know where my mum and dad are." And the policeman says, "What's your name?" And she goes, "Victoria." And they're like, "Oh, I'm not looking for you."
Yeah, fuck off. Anyway, Fizz heads off with a cop, leaving Tyrone and Evelyn alone. And there's a nice little scene there with Tyrone admitting to Evelyn that he felt a little bit relieved when Hope went off to Birmingham. Probably every time he gets a bit of a breather from her, because she's a very naughty girl.
Yeah,
she doesn't know how to deal with her anymore. And he's just a little bit conflicted, really, because he wants to be a good dad to her, but she's a bit of a pain in the arse.
Why would you say this?
He was being raw and emotive to his dear old gran.
I know my fake daughter's gone missing, but I don't know if I wanted to come back. Basically.
I think he wanted to come back this time. He was just saying that he quite appreciated the break from her. Do you think
he means like, now I am happy? No, I don't know.
Mate, yeah, I didn't want to come back then, but now I do. Anyway, then Evelyn goes off, and who comes in straight away at the back door? But Jade, with Hope. She's got her in her arms. She's freezing. Stick the fire on or something. I found her
a hot toddy.
She don't mention Todd. She was alone in the park, the graveyard, all night long. Wasn't me, governor. I found her there. It's just a coincidence.
Honestly, just found her on the floor.
And Tyrone, does he believe it? I don't think he believes it at first.
I don't think anyone believes anything.
He's more concerned with getting Hope to the hospital. So concerned, in fact, that he tells Jade, "Just show yourself out, love. I trust you being in my house." But yeah, I need to get off to Welly General.
Waste of NHS resources. Just stick her in a bath.
Now, because Fizz doesn't have her phone with her, Tyrone hasn't been able to contact Fizz and say what's going on.
What? Why didn't she have her phone?
Hope had it.
Hope stole it. Wouldn't you borrow someone else's phone if you're looking for your daughter?
Never mind that.
Right, don't ask questions.
Anyway, Hope confirms to Tyrone that she ran away herself.
Why take her word for it now? I don't believe anything you ever say again.
So, back at home, Fizz gets back, finds Jade still in the kitchen, and before long, basically... they argue a bit. Jade's trying to get away, and Fizz is smashing her over the head with a chopping board.
Yep.
Brilliant. Tyrone comes in to find a bloody Jade lying there on the kitchen floor / lounge floor, because they have got an open plan thing. I don't know which, but she was landing on.
It was technically the dining room.
Yes. So Friday carries on straight from then. So they're in a little bit of a pickle because they've got Jade on the floor.
They've got a body on the floor.
And
what
blood.
It's a corpse.
Not a corpse. She's still alive, they confirm quite quickly.
Oh, yeah, they do. And everyone's like, oh.
I'm surprised that Aggie wasn't round there straight away. Her trained nurse sense tingling, going...
My gold award.
She can probably sniff blood. She's like a shark, that Aggie, isn't she? Like, I'm a trained nurse, everybody. I'm a trained nurse. Golden Weatherfield Golden Heart Award, but no, luckily for them, Aggie didn't turn up, but unluckily for them, somebody else does. It's Evelyn. It's coming in the door with Hope and Ruby, and Tyrone and Fizz are like, let's just close the lounge door, don't look in there, don't you want to go upstairs, everybody. And Evelyn's like, no, I want a cup of tea and a custard cream, please. So she barges on through, but Jade has vanished. Whoa, she's not there, just leaving a bloody patch on the floor, which Cerberus thinks is great.
Oh, that was so disgusting. You've got to put him down now. He's got a taste for it.
Yeah, true. Maybe this is going to be the start of the new storyline where Cerberus goes rabid and starts attacking.
He starts nibbling people's legs and then breaking the skin and then sucking the blood out of your legs.
Although, if it's just that blood, then he might go after Jade, and maybe that's going to be the conclusion to the storyline.
Yeah. Fizz has to stand on the blood.
Yes,
hide it.
To hide it, yeah.
She should get some of that vanished stuff we've got.
Yes, great. Tyrone is... Fizz is panicking later on when Evelyn's not there, and Tyrone says, don't worry, love, calm down. But she can't help it because she's just clonked this girl around the head. She's on a suspended sentence. She might go back to prison again if this all comes out.
Well, Jade's not there now, so clearly she's gone somewhere. Where could she be? Probably at the police station.
Yes, that's what she thinks.
Telling them that she just got clonked on the head with a chopping board.
And now Jade gets into the same kind of issue that we have with Weatherfield Police Station sometime, because she knows that it's actually just around the corner from Victoria Court. But actually it's not, is it? That's just where it is for the set. She's like, I don't want to get to the police station, but there's a big gate inside that says Victoria Court parking only, so I don't know what to do. I feel a bit weak. I'm just going to collapse down here in Villains Alley.
I'm just going to lay down.
Yes. Now, you suggested at the time, is she doing that on purpose to try and...
Yeah, I thought she was
try and attract attention, but, I mean, she probably should have done it just out in the middle of Victoria Street.
Why wouldn't you lay down on the bench?
Yeah, on Martin Hett's bench.
No, it'd be probably... Well, Martin Hett's bench is probably a bit cold because it's covered in tiles.
Very true. Anyway, Evelyn catches Fizz doing some blood cleaning up later, and Fizz says it's wine, and Evelyn's like, oh, pour me a glass, I could do with some, and they have to make out that they've been finished off a glass themselves, and Evelyn calls them a pair of alkies, and it's about time somebody gets called out for all the copious wine drinking that goes on in Weatherfield. I know
after what I said last week, I couldn't believe that they were being called out about drinking one bottle between them, because as far as I can work out, that seems to be that's the norm. The average amount that you should be drinking per day.
Anyway, Evelyn can talk with her hip flask.
She was having, I want some sherry. Old people on Coronation Street always make me want to drink sherry. I love it.
Emily Bishop.
Oh, yeah.
Trendsetter.
Christmas.
Anyway, what's going on? Yeah, she's
also like, where's the glasses? I don't believe you.
Yeah. So Evelyn can tell they're being a bit shifty with this, so Fizz confesses all.
And this was brilliant. Evelyn's reaction. Brilliant.
It was the pause before it.
She's like,
camera zooms in on Evelyn.
I hit Jade on the head, and now she's disappeared.
Yeah, and Evelyn's like, looks at her, looks around, kind of sits down, and you think, what's she going to say? And it's, well, good. She's had that coming for a while.
Oh, it must be so amazing to play that character.
But it's just it's not just the line, it's the way that she's doing it. Perfect timing with it, perfect delivery of it. Really, really must be. Love it.
Never get rid of her.
Yasmin is the one who finds Jade in the alley later, because she's just come back from co-op and she's been told off by Jeff on the phone for being a little bit late. And as we said earlier, she's going to be in for a right. We don't know
what's going to happen with this next week.
Do not know what's going to happen with this next week. But Gemma, you know what next week is? National Television Awards week. Yeah?
Oh my God.
There's going to be climaxes next week. And we're not talking about the bedroom kind. Evelyn tells them, Fizz and Tyrone,
keep your mouth shut.
Yes, keep quiet about this. We're going to if the police come on knocking, then we're going to say we don't know anything. We came home. Jade wasn't there. And then
some wine
and then just to test out their acting skills, the police come round right at that moment. And they say that they're following up on a 999 call, which I think Fizz started earlier on, and then Tyrone made her put down or something. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. And also, while we're here, there's been an assault, a potential assault on Jade. Do you know anything about it?
No, who's Jade?
It's
too much, Fizz, too much. Dial it back a bit.
They're almost about as unsubtle as that. I mean, they all looked like they were acting. They were like, oh no, I didn't. Even Evelyn, who I would have thought would be like perfect poker face, she does her like, oh no, I hope she's okay.
Honestly, I think that you have to do that on soaps, because you think everyone's a normal person. This is so mean. But you think everyone is like the same as you, like normal person who gets what's going on and understands. And then you read soap forums or YouTube comments or Twitter and you go, no, there are people in this world who genuinely don't seem to exist in the same reality as I do, and they probably do have to have the actors pretending to act along, otherwise they'll be confused and they'll be like, they've all got amnesia, what's happened? There must be a carbon monoxide leak or something.
I'll just say that they probably could have done with a few acting lessons from Vicky and Michelle.
Well, it was no detective inspector that came to see them, was it, Michael? It was just a constable, so they probably can't find out, they probably can't tell who's lying and who isn't.
Yes, exactly. That's how you get the promotion, isn't it?
You go, nah, I don't believe you.
Yeah, they do the two truths and a lie game, and if you win, then you get a promotion.
That's why DS McKinnon's always so confused. It's like, you're lying, aren't you? You must be lying. Everyone always lies to me, why?
Anyway, the police...
Like that goddamn Derek, why did he leave me?
I don't know whether the police believe them or not, but they do accept it for now.
I've got too much paperwork to do as it is. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, fine, whatever, I believe it.
It's Friday night, I'm going home. I've got to record a podcast.
Later on, Fizz asks Hope why she ran away. And what do you know? She wanted to see Jade. What are you expecting her to say, Fizz?
God,
also, though, she wanted to visit her real daddy. And I did like, just like on the side of the scene there, the side of the shot, Tyrone's face falling when Hope mentions her real daddy, because that's something he's not really had to think about. I
think he's always treated her like she wasn't his real daughter. I don't know. I think he's a cheeky sod for
he has sometimes
like this. He let them go off together. He basically disowned her when she was setting fire to things, which fair enough I would have done even if it was my blood child. And he also literally said to Evelyn earlier on, well, when she went away to Birmingham, I was quite relieved. And now she's disappeared. I don't know if he's happy or sad. So what's his problem? What is he acting upset for? He should be like, well, feelings mutual, kid.
I might feel like that. I didn't realise you felt that about me. I'm hurt.
Well, stuff off. I ain't paying any more bills for you. You can buy your own coats.
Anyway, I've lost in the notes again.
Well, Fizz tries to sort of like explain what John was like.
Yeah, Hope says, what was Daddy like?
Nice way.
Like he really liked teaching.
He liked jumping off things.
He's fantastic at punctuation and grammar and stuff. Very good speller.
Young girls.
Anyway, so she said, no more questions. I will tell you more about your father when you're older.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Go away.
Then later on, Fizz is still, in a bit of a tiz about this, and especially probably after all the palaver with the gun and like, do I tell the truth or do I keep quiet? And now she's in exactly the same situation where she wants to be honest about it, but somebody else is telling her, no, you need to lie about it. And I think
she's also in a bit of a bind here, because if she does tell the police, she knows she's going to prison.
Yeah.
Because she's got that suspended sentence.
Ooh, the drama quandary that you are in, Fizz.
Oh, Fizz, why did you hit her with a chopping board?
Why, indeed. Then Jade comes to the door next, doesn't she?
Hello.
Honorary member of
the hoodie gang.
The grey hoodie gang. She had a grey hoodie. Tyler, Simon,
something about
and Jade.
You, when you put a grey hoodie over your head, you suddenly become a member of the dark side.
Yes.
Oh, maybe Jess got one.
That's what I was going to say. Old Emperor Palpatine himself.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's there and she's looking very subdued. She's has evil eyes.
She's got a very difficult to read expression on her face.
Yeah, and go on.
Oh, you don't know if she's come to sort of say, you're in trouble now, or, oh, you've beat me.
Can we be friends?
With a chopping board.
Yeah. But
or like, I don't remember what happened.
And that's the same when they're at the kitchen table as well, aren't they? Or the lounge table, the dining room table, sorry. And Fizz and Tyrone are trying to get her to say, well, do you remember what happened? Do you blame me? What have you said to the police? And she's just sitting there very quiet, very glary. And then eventually she says, I told them I was mugged. They then have a nice little scene. Well, nice as in it filled in a few details, although how much truth there is in this, I don't know. But she's saying that John used to write to her when she was little and sent cards, and he said he loved her and she knew her and he knew her and everything. And Fizz is like, as we all are, as Coronation Street viewers, going, hang on a minute, John never mentioned you. I don't think that your mum's been completely honest with you here, but Jade is adamant that John had been writing to her all this time. And then she starts talking about what it was like finding hope in the graveyard. She says, I don't blame Fizz for hitting me either. But you know what? I just wanted to have a relationship with my sister. That's what all this all boiled down to. I wanted to get to know my sister so I could have some kind of link with old Daddy Stape. And I want to make it up to you.
They're really missing. I think they're really missing a character here. The mum character. I hope she's dead. Because if she's not, I really feel like they missed a trick not having her directing Jade from the shadows like some kind of evil. Why lie to your child all this time? She's the most unhinged one here. The mum who sent letters from this murderer.
Yeah, mum lit the touch paper
and created this monster child. But I don't think we're going to get to see her.
I know, it feels like that. It feels like that's the missing bit here.
Link
but you never know.
Could be really awesome and dramatic.
You never know, because in the Carmel story, we met her parents at the end, and it wasn't her parents that turned her mad, but there was a late appearance from Mr. and Mrs. Finnegan, I think.
Well, I only want crazy people.
Anyway, Jade leaves. Oh no, Evelyn says, no, look, she's just trying to blackmail you. She's only not told the police so she can get something off of you, i.e. more contact with Hope, and she's going to be off and over that channel before you know it. But Jade's like, I'm not. I just want to be a happy family with you, or some contact with Hope at least. But I'm going to go now. And as she leaves, Hope runs down the stairs like, oh, Jade, hug. Jade has to go. Hope turns round and looks all sad to Mum and Dad there.
It's like a puppy that they can't keep, except the puppy keeps trying to bite your face off when you're asleep.
And set the house on fire.
Well, no, that's Hope. I'm talking about Jade.
Oh, okay. Tyrone thinks that they should probably allow Jade to see Hope every now and again just to keep her sweet, but Fizz is like, absolutely not, point blank refuses to let Jade have anything to do with her. As far as she's concerned, this storyline is over, and Jade is out of their life for good. We will never see her again, so it phrase of doom.
Well, until this scene, I was also of the opinion that was the last we saw of Jade, and she was never coming back again. But then when they were having a discussion about whether to let her see the kids or not, I was like, oh, she is going to be back.
And I with next week being National Television Awards week, I've been trying extra hard to avoid spoilers. And although I've seen a couple of pictures, and I don't know, I don't know very much about what's happening next week, or even which storylines are in it. So I don't know whether this is going to come to a climax next week. It feels like it might do. I really
thought that was it, and then Fizz was like, no, we'll never see her again. I am on Fizz's side. Don't ever engage with a blackmailer, especially on a soap, because they'll just keep blackmailing you.
Yeah.
Especially because she knows that she could get Fizz sent to prison immediately.
Do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah. Tyrone's being a bit of an idiot. Maybe he's like, I don't even care about Hope anymore because I'm not a real dad, apparently.
Well, I mean, I think Fizz is.
Sting,
I think the maternal, instinct for Fizz is kicking in, and she thought she'd almost lost Hope this week, and she doesn't want to put her in any danger, any risk at all of Hope being able to of Jade absconding with her. Not that she would see her unsupervised or anything, but she just doesn't want to take the risk, wants to cut her out of her life for good. Although, to be fair, Hope's probably will make Fizz's life hell now, if she is told you can't see her. It's reminded me a little bit actually of what's going on in ITV3 Classic Coronation Street at the moment, where Nick is being awful with Martin and doing like the whole "you're not my real dad" routine. I don't need to listen to anything you say. My real dad was Brian. He was amazing, and this is all stuff that over the years Ivy fed him, because I know. And this is quite similar, because Jade has been telling Hope, has been bigging up John to her, and now Hope's kind of maybe sort of looking at Tyrone and saying, he's not as good as my dad apparently is, and she's going to cause a bit of trouble there. I don't know. Just thought I'd make that little link there. What do you think about Jade at the moment? Are you feeling, what's your sympathy level? We've had this conversation before on the podcast. Like, I imagine a little graph in my head going up and down for how much I feel sorry for Jade, and I do love that she's not just obviously evil or obviously hapless and misunderstood, like John State was a little bit.
I've gone right off for this week. I think she's a bit of a coward. I really like villains who go out there and get what they want. And she just she had a plan and everything, and then she just kind of chucked it all in at the last minute and ruined her stupid plan. Which was stupid up to begin with, obviously. There's no way she's going to get a kid on a ferry if she's missing.
And
I assume that Fizz took the passport away and didn't just go, oh, I found all this stuff, I better put it back where I got it from.
Yeah, I assume she did, but you know, Fizz isn't.
I was really disappointed because when she went up into the loft and she found the travel stuff, I was then expecting there to be some kind of like chase or like face off or something between Jade and Hope trying to escape and Fizz trying to stop them from getting in a taxi or on a plane, or you know what I mean. And it just turned out that Jade just totally acted like a normal person, which is boring as hell, and backed down and said, "Oh no, I'm not."
I know what you mean, but I did like the twist when it turned out that Jade hadn't snatched her, because I'd from Monday night when Hope went off all the way through to the way through Wednesdays, I was convinced that Jade did have her and she was lying. So, but actually, the fact that she wasn't, and she did have massive sympathy for Hope, and she was worried about her and she was scared. It did make me think, I feel bad that your mum has fed you these lies, because you probably could be a nice, normal person. You obviously, really care about your sister, but it's all your whole idea about Fizz and everything has been based on some lies. But
I know, but when the thing is, I did like that as well. Like the twist was good, but at the same time, when because it subverted your expectations.
Yes.
But at the same time, when the twist is the most boring thing that could have happened, it's not really that brilliant, is it?
But I still think there could be more. There still could be that chase.
There has to be now, because there has to be. Because I think she's backed down too fast. She's risked everything and got nothing back. Hope's still
slunk off.
Completely on her side. She's got Fizz over a barrel. Really, she could just say to Fizz, do you want, give me your kid or go to prison?
Yeah.
And she's got this house. She set everything up. It seems like she's given up way too easily. She didn't even try to snatch Hope.
She did. I mean, she had She
had a plan in place, but she didn't.
And the fact is, she had the opportunity, didn't she? When she found Hope in the graveyard, she could have said, "Right, let's." No,
she couldn't have, because she would be kidnapping a child, and she would have got caught.
But she was wanting to kidnap her anyway and take her to France.
Yeah, but you do that before you, Michael. I'm glad you don't know how to snatch a child properly, but you can't kidnap a child who has been reported missing and take her on international transport without somebody knowing that's what you're doing and spotting the name.
She could have just gone off the radar or something.
What, Okay.
She's desperate and she's crazy. She might have done it. So I was Michael, a little surprised, actually.
People die trying to get to this country. Do you think you can get out that easily?
I did think I was a bit surprised when she burst in through the back of the house carrying Hope and almost giving herself in.
That's why I didn't like it, because it's don't be good at the last minute. You've let me down.
But when she came back this evening with her hoodie up, glaring, it's you're not done yet. You've not given up on this. So I'm hoping that there is going to be a final attempt, and I'm as much as I'm loving this story, I'm ready for it to come to a conclusion now. Just with one last hurrah next week, I hope, where there is a chase or a snatch or something. But I don't want Jade to be killed at the end of it. I don't think this character deserves a death, and sometimes deaths at the end of these kind of things can be a bit convenient. That's like what I think about the Jeff and Yasmin storyline. If Jeff dies at the end of it, that's incredibly convenient, and it's also sending out the message that, well, if you're being coercively controlled by your partner, then the only way to escape is if he cops it.
Wow.
So I need.
We're not talking about that now.
No, we're not. But I want Jade to be.
Have we got this storyline to talk about this week?
No.
Oh, you've raised points that I can't address because we don't really have time to talk about it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it'll come out next week. But yeah, I want with both of those stories could develop nicely.
I would not mind
week.
if Jade died, because I think she's useless.
Oh,
Can't even snatch a kid properly.
You wanted a female villain.
I did want a female villain. She's
let
me down.
Purpose.
She's let me down.
But she might make it up
Pat
to you
Phelan
next
wouldn't have
week.
given up halfway through his plan, would he? He'd go find a gun somewhere and shoot people in the face or something.
Very, very true. And actually, Pat
Phelan
Phelan would probably steal the final scene of an episode where he's revealing what the next stage of his plan is, whereas Jade just
slunk off. If that was Pat Phelan, he'd go round to Villain's Alley and start punching the walls and end up with blood everywhere and like beat up some people and kick him in the nuts. Or something like that. She just walks off with her hood up.
Can we talk about that last twist on Wednesday, though, where Fizz hits Jade with the chopping board? That was brilliant.
So violent.
That was brilliant.
So she just came home and saw this woman in her house and was like, well, I feel like I'm American today. I'm just going to beat you to death with a
defend my property.
Like, you can't do that in this country. You have to, like, in this country, legally, you can only kill somebody who's invaded your house if you've offered them tea and they refuse. Because that's the gravest insult of all.
Yeah, Fizz...
And it proves that they're only here to burgle you as well. Not for a social call.
This isn't the first time that Fizz has acted first and thought later and then had a ooh.
Oh dear.
Whoops. But I still loved it, and I wasn't completely surprised by it because I'd seen that publicity photo.
Okay, you weren't surprised because you saw
Jenny and
it.
Lottie. No, but I'd seen her raising her hands to Jade. Sorry, but I didn't know that she had actually hit it. I thought it was just she raises her hand, but then she gets away. I thought there might be a struggle or something, but I did not in any way know or expect that Jade would be knocked out and unconscious and bloodying the floor by the end of Wednesday's episode. And so you didn't... did you see that picture?
No, I didn't.
Because...
I was like, oh my God, this is great. Is she dead?
No. There's another picture of... that people...
Michael?
You know the picture that people bring up of Fizz having a baby and going, there's another unfortunate photo of Fizz just pulling a Steve McDonald caliber gun as she raises this chopping board above Jade's head, and it's not the most flattering of photos. But so I saw that, but I didn't know that was how it was going to end.
Don't get a job on Soap for the Glamour.
I love Jenny. I think she's brilliant. I've loved all the players involved in this. What face are you
supposed to have when you beat someone?
Exactly. What face are you supposed to have when you're having a baby and there's a tram crashing just down the street?
Don't know.
She's just going in the wrong place at the wrong time, isn't she?
Well, I mean, it can't be worse than Beyonce's photo.
What Beyonce photo?
The one where she's going...
I don't know what that
one,
is.
and she tried to get it deleted off the internet, and now...
You have to show me later. I haven't seen this.
You have.
Do you think that Jade
Come on, get on with it. We've had 15 minutes of this now.
Well, there's the other stories are shorter.
I know.
Do you think that Jade's going to get in trouble for this? Not Jade, Fizz. Do you think that Fizz is going to end up in prison again?
It's all going to end up next week. It's all just going to come... Jade's going to die, and it'll die with her.
I suppose I don't expect that Fizz is going to go to prison.
No, 'cause it's
although
boring.
They might want to give the actress a break after this story. I don't know, but that'd be silly. I think maybe the only way that she can avoid being in prison is if that Jade does die and the secret dies with her. Not that it's a massive secret. It's no who killed Callum or anything like that.
What secret? That she hit her with a chopping board?
Yeah. But if
a lot of people would say that good on you.
But the moment that Jade goes to the police and says, no, actually, this is what happened, then Fizz gets carted in, and you're on a suspended sentence, and you go to prison.
Don't you have a trial, though, and you go, no, I didn't hit her on the head with a chopping board. She said she got mugged and that's what happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think Fizz would be able to lie.
She's her own worst enemy.
If she's up on the stand, she is going to be singing like a canary.
No. You got to cross your fingers when you put your hand on the Bible.
Yeah, I mean...
then God doesn't mind what you say.
Yeah. Were you on...
You've got to say, swear on my mum's life.
Were you on Evelyn's side when she said that they need to keep stum about it? Do you think that was the best thing to do?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in this situation, but anything Evelyn says, I go along with.
I think morally, I would be like Fizz, and I'd be like, no, I have to tell the truth. But as a viewer...
But you would have gone to prison, stupid man.
I know. I'm too honest.
You can't pay the bills when you're in prison.
But I did like that Evelyn was getting them to lie.
We're already shopping at Lidl, Michael. If you go to prison, where are we going to get our food from?
What's one lower than Lidl? I don't
There
even
isn't
know.
one.
Dig it out the ground. Right.
We've got some garlic coming up.
Oh, there we go. That's fine. You're not a vampire, are we?
We've got loads and loads of tiny little individual pots of beans in the larder as well, which you don't eat, and I have gone off.
Delicious.
So I have to eat those, I guess.
That's
it. Let's go on with it. Got... Rubbish. Boring. Move on.
No, it's not boring.
Move on, Michael.
What? The next story? Yeah. Oh, can we just say that it was nice to see they had a new set for Hope's bedroom this week? We saw a few new sets this week. There were loads of new sets this week. We saw this bedroom. We saw... Who else's bedroom did we see this week? The Quad's bedroom. Gemma and Chesney's bedroom. True. We got to see.
And we got to see Maria and Gary's new flat.
Yes, we did. We did.
Which was, again, something which was very... quickly, well, not even addressed. What was the other thing that happened? Something else happened this week, and everyone was like, did I miss something?
Well, maybe if we carry on with the next stories, we'll find out. I'll pass over to you, Gemma.
Thank you.
To tell us about the Bernie Out story.
Bernie Out. So last week, Bernie filmed Cal in the park.
With a bag of lager and condoms.
Yeah, and calling him a pedo. And... Did she get in trouble from the police? I don't think so.
No, so the police just say, what'd you do that for?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They went, well, this isn't evidence.
Let us do the investigating.
They're like, this isn't evidence. This is the start of a really good YouTube channel. Get out of my office. I'm sick of you YouTubers coming in here. So all the kids at summer school are talking about what happened, and Summer thinks she's cool. But Billy thinks that it just needs to... That's the end of it now. Just leave it as it is. It's not helping Paul to relive all this stuff. He survived, that's the main thing. Just leave it. Bernie's texted a mate of Kel's to find out where he is. Looks like he's legged it. And I think that's all we really hear about Kel.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because
It felt the last week.
We'll get to the end. We'll get to the end because I thought this was going in a completely different direction. It looks like he's legged it. She's not impressed when Billy said, just leave it. Now, just let it drop.
Hashtag what would Jesus do?
Well, he likes kicking people who sell stuff.
Oh, yeah, he'd have upturned Kel's DJ decks.
I hate this tune. Gemma's knackered. That's just really the theme of 2020, I think, with this character. And someone squirts petrol through the letterbox and sets fire to it.
Ooh.
As a funny prank.
Yeah, Gemma's gone to bed with the quads.
Yeah, Chesney's all the quads are upstairs in the bedroom.
He said.
Chesney comes home, sees the house on fire. Nobody else sees this. Breaks in, stamps on it like a Eileen trying to stamp feeling to death. And Abby come to the rescue again. Amazing. If there's any trouble on the street, Abby's the first one there. She's the one that puts the fire out.
She's a hero, Abby.
I love her so much. She should get the Gold Star Award or whatever it's called.
Yeah, she should. Golden Heart Award.
She actually saved people. She saved 4 babies and a woman.
Yeah.
Aggie just kind of patted a man on the head while he died.
And she said, Abby saved everyone at the factory, didn't she? Turning the electricity off after the roof collapse.
Yes. She is a bona fide
hero.
Right, everyone's safe. The quads go off to hospital. Fire service arrived. Paul shows up. He's worried because, Chesney blames him and Bernie for their stupid idea to publicise this because it turns out that Cal had a photo on social media of him standing outside the house. So somebody saw that photo, thought that that's where he lived, and then came and set fire to it to kill the pedo. And they also wrote pedo on
It's a good job that Kel didn't put up that photo of the time he visited Buckingham Palace, wasn't it?
No, but they were like, oh, Prince Andrew.
Oh, God, no.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Carry on.
It's an anonymous internet troll, allegedly.
Yes.
At the hospital, Ches tells Bernie straight that he blames her for it, and he's getting really mad. And God, who wouldn't be scared of angry Chesney? He might hit himself in the face with a brick again. Gemma's not really that bothered though. I mean, she's upset, but she doesn't really think it's their fault.
More willing to forgive.
On Wednesday, when you're used to your family doing stupid crap like Gemma is, it's probably easier to forgive
She's just
them.
happy that they're all safe and well.
I'm just happy that my babies are alive. like that. But, you could have lost a couple of them, really.
I know, selective reduction, second chance.
Which
one shall we sacrifice to the flames?
This is the worst section we've ever done.
It's just a joke, everybody.
Just a joke. Sorry, Andrew. On Wednesday, they go around to clean up. Bernie brings a Japanese fish balloon to Gemma by way of an apology at the hospital. I don't know why. Police say to Gemma, we're taking this very seriously. We've issued a press release saying that it was a case of mistaken identity. Like people on Facebook read press releases from the police.
Oh, I don't know what they're expecting. Yeah, where they're expecting it to be seen. No, I've never seen a press release by the police saying...
Well, I have, because they send them to the papers.
I don't read the newspaper.
No, I know.
They're just, what did Bethany call it? Publicity for paedophiles. No, not paedophiles.
Sex pests.
Something like that.
They're going to also station a marked car outside the house. Paul says, come back to our house. And she's like, no, you've already got Sean, Billy, you and Summer. You don't want me, 4 babies and a boring fart.
You know this marked car that was outside their house? Do you think they might have heard when Jade got clobbered on the head by a chopping board and they were like, none of my business what goes on in that house. I'm looking at this house just down the road from it.
You got to learn to pick your battles.
And when Jade hobbles out the door clutching her bloodied temples, the police is like, I can't see this, la la la, fingers on my ears, I'm just sitting outside here in case there's another arson attack.
They're both sitting there and one of them goes, did you see that? And the other one goes, nope, and neither did you. It's not what we're here for. She wants to go back home, but Chesney says that Freshco has offered to put them up in a fancy hotel. Again, what is this? They've had more fancy hotel breaks since they've had these kids. Since their whole lives, probably.
So again, went to the Hilton and had the food specially prepared by Paris.
She's not allowed any of that money,
Oh.
No, because she's too much of a screw up. Gemma speaks to Paul, she's forgiven him. But she says, just drop this whole Kel thing before more people get hurt. So on Friday, Rita has a go at Bernie for being a terrible person. She tries to clean up the house because she feels guilty. And Billy and Paul come in and Billy says to Bernie again, stop trying to get revenge. You're opening these wounds. Like there was a bit in the Rovers, I think, can't remember when it was, maybe today, when they're playing darts and then Bernie says, oh, just imagine you're throwing it at Cal's head, and Paul's having a great time, and then she just reminds him of what happened and he's just face falls and he's just back there again. And she's really just not helping him, but she doesn't realise that she's not. It's tough because she's a victim not to the extent of Paul, but she's also had something terrible happen, but she's got to give him priority.
A time of her life that she thought was lovely, and this was like the guy of her dreams, her best boyfriend ever. So much of it was a lie.
Yep.
But it's not about her.
Not about you, Bernie.
Anyway, Rita's obviously had to look at the TV guide at this point and says, this is your last episode tonight. You better get your skates on. You need to do a Corrie quick exit. So that's basically what she ends up doing for the rest of the episode, isn't it?
She buggers off and says, bye, Gemma. Say bye to Gemma.
Yeah, she doesn't even get to say goodbye to Gemma. I don't know what Dolly was doing this episode.
Is she really gone? I find this very, very weird because I really don't think Cal's story's over. But maybe they've just gone, look, we wash our hands of it now. What else can you really do here with this story? Because I had the idea that she would get Kel harassed online and then he would kill himself. Do you remember me saying that?
I think so.
Because that happened in real life. And
Corrie have got to be very careful with suicide now that they've had the Aiden story.
But this happened in real life. It's not like it's not sensationalised. It's something that happened.
I mean, they say
the Coronation Street don't come to me with that, because we had Aiden's suicide treated very well, and then not that long afterwards, was it Adam tried to kill himself just because you felt really sad one day, and then they kind of didn't, they treated that like nothing.
Was that after? Was it before? I can't remember.
I'm really sure that they have not been consistent, which is fair enough because they're a soap, but they're not, it's not a documentary series, but it's one of these things where we come across the problem that we have all the time with issue-based storylines. do they undermine the more dramatic storylines? And they often sit uneasily side by side.
Yeah.
These issue-based storylines have to be really realistic.
I don't know what to think. It feels to me like this story has run its course, and it's just been kind of dribbling towards the end, and then having breaks, and then coming back for a bit, and it's like, and I think if it ended now, and we didn't get to see any more of it, and we didn't get to see Kel again, I'd feel like, well, they didn't really tie that one up very nicely. But equally, I wouldn't be too bothered.
Well, I mean, it was good that they kind of like tit for tat. Because the vigilante stuff was bad.
Yeah, they showed the consequences of vigilantism.
They had, you trying to get justice, and then it comes back on you because these people that set fire to the house thought that they were in the right as well, but they weren't because they didn't know all the facts. And you can't ever know all the facts of the situation, and you just have to let the police do, but then, this is a situation where everything's happened so long ago. There are situations like this, is what I'm trying to say, where this happened last week and the police can't do anything about it, and those are the ones that you feel the worst about, and you can understand why somebody would go to the lengths they do to try to get revenge. And it was revenge. It wasn't justice.
As well, linking this to real life, I saw there were some viewers that complained to Ofcom about this whole fire, petrol bombing through the letterbox kind of thing, because they said it was a bit too similar to an arson attack in Manchester a couple of years ago in December 2017, where 4 kids were killed, and they're saying that this is a bit too close to the bone. That sort of thing is very, very raw still to the people of Manchester. You shouldn't have done it. And Corrie said to the Manchester Evening News, where I read this article, that their line is, "We never shied away from tackling difficult issues," and I don't want to say either way, one way or another, but I think it's kind of right that you can't shy away from that kind of thing.
You also can't.
I wonder whether they considered it or not.
I'm sure they didn't.
The thing is, you're not going to see Corrie have a storyline where there's a bombing in an arena anytime soon, are they? No. But the trouble is, tragedy. This is the thing. Like, tragedy happens all over the place, and
it's unfortunate that there was a situation where this happened. But was it under the exact same circumstances?
No, I guess
I don't
not.
know.
I don't know.
And if Coronation Street is going to be realistic, it is going to mirror real life.
Yeah.
What else is it for if not that?
Exactly.
This is what I said about, never shied away from tackling difficult issues. My idea for Kel.
Yes.
You saying that I'm being too dark with it. I'm telling you this has happened.
Yeah. What did you think of the fire?
Well, we were excited because we thought they'd redecorate. But they just buggered off to a hotel.
Yeah, they just, they're not very much. I was just a bit disappointed, really, with the fire in the end, because it was just a little one. They set fire to the welcome mat and got a bit of smoke damage in the hallway.
Welcome.
That house does desperately need some redecoration. And
it seems like they're just going to leave it covered in soot.
Yeah. Do you remember it? But back in the Battersby's days, when they lived there, there was literally grime on the wall. Yeah. So it actually does look better now than it did. But
what are they doing with all this Fresco's money? They're supposed to get 50 grand. What are they supposed to be doing with it? I know the nappies are
quads are expensive.
I know, but they're getting free biscuits, so that saves a couple of quid a week, doesn't it?
No, I was, on the whole, jokes aside, a little bit disappointed by the fire, because I didn't know there was going to be a fire, but when it went through the letterbox, I was like, oh, I don't expect a fire, this will be good, but it was put out quite quickly. And although I liked that it was Abby who saved it, and I thought of the fact that after she saved it and Chesney just ran upstairs and she's just left there holding the fire hydrant, waiting for some kind of thanks, and again, that was quite funny. Yeah, it was just a bit like, and then then it was over, and then they're off. And it just felt like the storyline kind of dribbled through the week, really.
It wasn't, the point was not to have a fire, though. The point was to have a dramatic, this is what happens when your vigilante revenge goes wrong.
Yeah.
And you think you're right and you're not.
Yeah, and it's led to Bernie's exit. So,
weird.
So final thoughts on Bernie?
I liked her. I'm really warmed to her. She made it difficult.
What, to like her?
Yeah.
I wanted to like her more than I did. I think I'm like, when I look back on Bernie, if we don't see her again, and although Billy said she'll be back, and I don't know whether that was a wink and a nod to us saying no, that's not the end of it. But for now, Jane's time on Corrie is at an end. If she doesn't come back, I'm going to look back and either barely remember her or think it didn't really work, and she was given some silly things to do, like selling pregnancy tests, and she wasn't that funny particularly.
Hark at you.
She was all right, but just all mixed up with the Winter clan, and she was a bit I'm not sad to see her go, really. I mean, I don't think I'll miss her. I'm surprised to see her go so soon, because I didn't realise before today that they were
maybe she's not
leading up to her exit.
Come back.
It felt like an exit, didn't it?
I know, but
she got in the taxi, she got waved off.
Yeah. I mean, you said Soap Fraser Doom when Fizz was saying, "Oh, never see her again," and then Billy was like, "We'll see her again, I suppose." Does that mean she's going to be back next week?
Yeah, no,
having a fight with Kel.
It could be this could be another one that comes to another possible climax. There's lots of stories at the moment that feel like they could be finished off in the next few weeks. I don't know, because there still is the whole thing about, are they going to let it drop with Kel? I don't know what I would recommend.
Has he really been punished? No,
he hasn't. He's been worried a bit. Thinks he's got away with it, and still getting off offering those DJ lessons to unsuspecting boys.
And do you think that what's happened to him with Bernie, from what we've learned, is going to put him off? No, because he already got in trouble and he already got investigated and he got away with it, and then he went straight back into it again and Bernie pitched up. The police have probably told him, we've spoken to the woman in question and told her that this is unacceptable.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking to himself, well, she's dealt with now, she's not going to be able to do anything to me.
I mean, we could be in a Josh situation here where he almost gets caught, doesn't, and then we kind of have left to believe, well, not all villains get caught, blah, blah, blah. And then, say, a year down the line, then Josh's story is brought up and then he is brought to justice. Maybe that's what we'll get with Cal. But maybe later this year, maybe next year, he'll finally get his just desserts on maybe an unrelated issue. Maybe he is caught with another underage.
Yeah, but it's weird though, isn't it? Because Cal is actually the only Corrie villain currently who's got away with what he did.
Well, Jade kind of has, hasn't she?
Well, what did Jade do? Nothing really.
Lots of lying, and
she sneaked about.
Conspiracy.
She hasn't actually done anything wrong. Well, she's done wrong things, but she's not.
Yeah.
She's not a paedophile. but we know that Cal did wrong. We know exactly what Cal did, and he's actually not got punished for it. That's not good, is it? That's not great. And Corrie's record with sex offenders seems to be spotty at the moment, doesn't it?
I suppose, yeah. Because we had Cal and Josh.
It is realistic, though. This is what happens.
Yeah.
You get treated like dirt if you're a victim of a crime like this.
Well, soap justice will get you in the end, I say. Just maybe not
it's
soon.
A bit slow and unimpressive, isn't it? You kind of want something bombastic to happen to sort of really get get him.
Okay, right, let's move on to the next story, the Tim bagged 2 stuff, and my turn to do the synopsising, Gemma. Well, Monday wasn't really to do with Tim, was it? It was Abby and Kevin again, and as we remember, Abby is going out with Ray at the moment. She gets out of his fancy car on Monday morning. Tim congratulates her over her exams, and then when she sees Kevin's coming around the corner, she ducks out of the way because things are still not too good between them, because he thought he was in there, but she was too busy snogging the face off Mr. Crosby.
Kevin is getting creepy with this.
I know, the creepy crank is what he should be called. So they at work later, things aren't great between Kevin and Abby. And then when he finds out that she went out to celebrate her exam results with Ray last night, and that's why she turned up to work late, he's not very impressed indeed.
Well, he's jealous.
And so he says, well, I'm going off to the pub, you can do all this, you can finish all this for me. But then when she's not able to, she hasn't got the time to her, he has another go at her, and he can tell that it comes down to jealousy, because he starts having a pop at her new sugar daddy as well.
This is really unacceptable. This is a hostile work environment, and she's just accepting this, but this is what happens to women all the time at work. I know that she did fancy Kevin, but there are other examples of women at work who have had a guy come on to them that they're not interested in, and then if they get rejected, the guys then make their lives hell. And this is what Kevin's doing, and nobody's pulling him up on it at all, and he's not being told to stop being a dick. And I'm almost certain that at the end of this, he's going to end up winning the girl.
Oh, he is. He's going to rescue her from Ray.
I'm really kind of like the blatant misogyny on display here is breathtaking. And nobody really thinks twice about it because it seems like it's a normal accepted thing for, well, of course Kevin's upset about it because he fancies her and it's true love. No, it's creepy and it's weird.
Kevin's not looking good in this.
To be able to work out that this is not acceptable behaviour, and Abby also should have a bit more self-respect and tell him to shove it.
I think she has been telling him that. She's
I know, but I really still do think that they're going to end up together.
I do as well, and I still wouldn't mind it. I just wish they'd hurry on with it because this has been going on for like 6, 7, 8 months now. It feels like I know he's not looking good with this. Anyway, the main Tim stuff with this comes in on Wednesday because remember Sally's off visiting Gina at the moment very handily.
It's just an example of a man who has a woman in his social sphere treating her like she's his property, and she can only do what he is given permission for, and he feels like she's doing stuff and she hasn't got permission off of him, and because he feels this ownership and sense of property over her, he's allowed to treat her like dirt.
He just thinks he can win her back.
I give him 2 thumbs down.
Charlie comes over to Sally's house on Wednesday where Tim's there. Charlie's back, and Tim is acting like Tim's pretending that that's not really his house. He's just renting a room there. It is lucky that Sally's not there.
It's also lucky Charlie doesn't look at any of the photos.
Yeah, they mentioned that today about how we're going to stop her finding out about Sally. Him and Tim and Faye try and concoct something, but we never really see what it is that they come up with. But anyway, he asks her, like, you sign these divorce papers. Go on, we need the clock's ticking. We need to just get this sorted. Well, no, he doesn't say, well, Sally's out of town, but that's what he's thinking. And she's like, no, my situation's changed. It turns out that she's lost her job. She's £5 in debt.
No, she's not £5 in debt, because that could be sorted out very easily.
In debt.
How did this happen so fast? Is this another storyline, or is this just a anti-windfall story?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Do you not find it a bit weird that she's suddenly gone from she's got 2 jobs and she's fine to only got no jobs and I'm 5k in debt? It makes it sound like she's
karma. Well, one person who lives on Coronation Street gets a windfall, somebody else has got to lose it.
Goes to look at their bank and like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Rita's probably got it.
Anyway, she says, look, Tim, stop harassing me about this. Can't divorce you yet. I've got to sort myself out first. And Tim is so desperate to get this divorce. He's like, I'll pay his solicitor's fees. And she's like, oh, okay, no, that sounds good. And can you give me this £5,000 that I owe as well, please? Because, I'm married. I should have 50% of what's yours. So 5k, that's a bit of a bargain, to be honest.
She's doing maths.
Later on, Charlie's back again, having been evicted. She's coming across as a bit pathetic this week. Everything's going wrong with that. I don't know whether it's real or whether it's a ruse. Anyway, she wants to crash at Tim's house, but then Abby comes home because obviously she lives there, but Tim has to make out that Abby is his cleaner and kind of bundles her off into the kitchen area, where he explains what's been going on. Tim's idea for getting this money that he's offering her is to go to old Mr. Moneybags Kevin, who got all his Auntie Vi's money last year.
Oh, God.
And he kind of... I didn't realise how stupid it was, because it was obvious, really, this is where it was going, because he goes around there with beers, because he's fallen out with Kevin over this whole... Abby thing and everything, and he's like, oh, can we kiss and make up? I brought beers, and Kevin forgives him, and they have some bro bonding and man hugs and everything like that until Kevin realises that Tim's ulterior motive here is to get the money off of him.
£5,000, please.
Yeah, and Kevin bundles him out and is like, no, fuck her off. I thought you came with me so we could just have beers and boy talk together, and now you just want my money.
No, I hate
Sling your hook. Friday. Tim, because Friday's episode, remember, is the same day as Wednesday's episode because of the whole Jade cliffhanger. So Tim goes over to see Charlie back at his house.
And it's funny because she says
no money.
She says you cleaned and left, and she said you owe her double, and also she didn't really do any cleaning.
I'd like to have seen some of that. Like, does Abby pretend to clean? Does she try and keep
up pots and like spray Febreze
make clatters
around.
in the kitchen or something. I don't know. Anyway, then Faye shows up just to complicate things more, and Charlie introduces herself to her as her new stepmom. So basically,
stepmummy.
Stepmummy. The truth is out. Kind of. Some of the truth is out for Faye.
Faye's not really. Well, Faye's not phased by this because her dad is an absolute.
Well, she called him a dipstick, didn't she? Which is an insult I've not heard in a long time.
It definitely registers on the insult scale as a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic playground insult. You're a dipstick.
Dipstick. Yeah.
Is that just a British thing? I don't know. Please, Canadian viewers. Listeners, tell us. Do you have dipsticks in Canada?
We can't move for them over.
Yeah, are they just something you use in your car, or are they?
I mean, if you're not going to bust out the classic Dinlo, you might as well have.
Dinlo is not universal.
Dinlo is. I really do think Dinlo is a shortening of dipstick.
What? How's it shortening?
What do you mean? Dipstick
doesn't have low in.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like a direct one, is it? It's just a derivative of dipstick.
Okay, maybe it is.
It carries the same meaning, Michael.
Yes.
Maybe you didn't know about it.
Shut up, you dipstick. Faye says, look, I'm surprised Sally's not castrated you for this, but no wonder she's buggering off to Auntie Gina at the moment. And Tim says, look, this is all in hand, Faye.
Ironic.
Charlie, what?
Ironic she's gone to see Gina.
Why?
And Charlie's turned up.
Oh, yeah, I know. Very.
Why? Because the actress who plays Charlie...
Oh, yes! Yes! The Sharon Wees, who plays Charlie, almost was Gina.
Almost cast as Gina.
Yeah, she got down to the final... I can't remember what else I've written it down there. No, she got to the final screen test as Gina back a couple of years ago, and didn't get the part. So we got the beautiful Connie Hyde instead. And now we get both actresses, which is lovely.
Maybe Gina.
Because I think Sian Reeves is coming across very, very well at the moment.
I love Sian Reeves. She's amazing.
Really brilliant new character.
Brilliant.
Yeah, she really, really is. Anyway, Tim says,
he's like, help me.
Yeah, please help me, because she's going to find out about Sally. As you said, there are lots of photos around the house, and I'm surprised. He let her alone in the house while he went to try and cash this money off of Kevin. I know, she seems like the sort that would be poking her nose all over the place. You don't even
have to nose, you just have to look with your eyeballs, and there's photos everywhere.
Yeah, and she there is, and the horse as well.
And when you
What's going on with that?
Like, if you think that Sally, she knows Sally exists.
Why do you have photos of the mayor of Weatherfield?
That's what they say. Like, why do you have, and she's my housemate. Why does the mayor of Weatherfield have to share a house with someone? You'd think they'd be sort of like minorly successful in their lives.
She's the ex-mayor of Weatherfield. Maybe she just thinks she's fallen on hard times. She's had to give that chain back. Yeah.
You don't keep the chain, you know.
No. But anyway, Faye agrees to help him out for £50.
Should have been 100.
Yeah, so Tim goes back to the Rovers to ask Steve for the money next, and then this is when the news of Tim's botany/bigamy, which is the Emma joke of the night. What did she say? Everyone says you're a bigamist, and she says, or is that because you're into plants or something? I don't say it's the way you tell them.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody. Emma very sweetly says, "I'll give you the money." I don't know why.
I think she means give it. She meant
lend you the money because my dad left me some money. My real dad.
She's a sweet and trusting person.
Yes.
This is what I was like when I was her age.
She's gonna.
Life knocks it right.
It makes me wonder: is she going to lose her money in some massive scam?
She's going to just give it to somebody.
Do you remember a few years ago when Leanne was scammed? Like, it was one New Year. Somebody came round and asked for a maiden name and a date of birth and everything. What went on with that story? Anyway, he gets the money from somewhere. Everybody said they.
No, Steve gives it to him. He's like, you're not having my daughter's money.
Yeah.
They've all got loads of money somehow.
Yeah. So Tim.
No, they also offer. First of all, what happens is they say, "Yeah, I'll give you the money if you give me your shares." And then Arlene's like, I want the shares if you're giving them out. And then Emma says, that's not very nice. I'll give you the money, you don't have to worry about selling your shares. And then Steve's like, all right, fine. Because he doesn't want to be shown up as a grasping, greedy bastard in front of his kid.
Yes. So Tim goes back to Charlie, who's managed to find her way to the cafe by this point, gives her the check, and she says, oh, you're a nice bloke. She's going to get this thing's going with the solicitor, all going to be sorted, don't worry. Then Jenny comes into the cafe to put a little postcard up, very handily.
Staff wanted.
What are the chances of that, eh? And who needs a job at the moment? Who needs a job and has bar experience at the moment, but lovely Charlie. So when at the end of the episode, Tim goes into the Rovers, waiting to be served, the bar's empty, calls out, who is it that comes through from the back? But Charlie, his wifey, yeah, and with Jenny as well. And Jenny says, "I landed on my feet here." Barely 5 minutes after I put up that sign, did this woman come in? I think we're going to be a great team together. And Tim is like,
Oh, Nads.
Nads indeed. I did wonder whether that was a little bit insensitive from Jenny, because the goss was spreading that this was Tim's secret wife. So if
she didn't. That wasn't part of the interview process. How is she supposed to know that?
No, what do you mean? She knew it because she would have heard the gossip, probably.
How? Unless you've seen this happen, you can't accuse her of being insensitive.
Jenny knows everything that's going on in that pub. She's landlady extraordinaire.
I know they're not trying to keep it on the down low or anything, but I don't think it's widely known at this point.
Keep the din low on the down low. Okay, maybe she didn't.
I don't think it's insensitive to hire somebody who's got barmaid experience to be a barmaid. I mean, if you excluded everyone who had personal drama with somebody who lived on the street, you'd have to be recruiting from Southampton.
Very true. And I mean, Jenny and Sally haven't always seen eye to eye anyway. She'd probably enjoy keeping her around just to see what happens when she gets back.
Her face when she sees you behind the bar.
I think this is a brilliant move, bringing Charlie back, and even better, putting her in the Rovers.
She's great.
She really has the air of potential classic Rovers barmaid in the making, and I do not know how long.
Smile.
I don't know how long she's going to stay in the programme. Is she just in it for a little bit? Is she on it for a long-term contract? But straight away, she, like Abby, when she came into it, big impression straight away. Seems very confident. She's bubbly. Great smile, like you said. She's got that twinkle in her eye that makes me go, I want to watch you. And now they've paired her up with Jenny. They've got rid of Gemma from the Rovers. Does Sarah Louise still work at the Rovers? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they keep doing things and not telling everybody that's what they're doing.
Somebody can probably write in and tell me whether Sarah Lou is, but I think she's not. I don't know. But who does work at the Rovers at the moment, apart from Jenny and Sean? No wonder she's short-staffed. Oh, Emma. Oh, yeah, of course, Emma. The dream team. Emma, Jenny and Charlie together.
What a great group.
So, let's have some Rovers stories, please. Everybody say it together. She's going to be great. I don't know whether she is going to be a bit more of an antagonist now, because we really liked Charlie in her first appearance, like before Christmas, not just because of, like, you know, as I said, the twinkle in the eye or whatever, but because she seemed genuinely nice about it, and she made that joke about saying, "Oh, can I have £10,000, please?" I'm only kidding you. But this one, she's coming across as being a bit needy, and people are wondering, has she really been evicted? Has she taken Tim for a ride here? It's not completely sure, and I kind of want the characters that I take to be good, or horribly evil, and nowhere in between. I don't want Charlie to be horrible. I want it to be nice.
Yeah, this is a unfortunate, weird. They could have had her come into the show without actually needing to get $5,000 off of Tim. It makes me think that she's going to blackmail him a bit more.
Yeah.
Because she's not signed anything yet.
No, she's not.
It came very easily. If I was her, I'd be thinking, oh, okay, so I asked you for $5,000, and then you say it's difficult, and then later in the day you've got a cheque for $5,000 for me.
Yeah. Well, when we watched Sian Reeves on Lorraine earlier this week, she talked about sort of being horrible to Tim in the nicest way possible. Because you can't. I don't know how you can watch this character and hate her at the moment.
A lot of people on our Facebook group do not like this blackmail storyline.
This one, not the Jade one. Why?
No, this one, because it's another woman sort of trying to take a man for financial blackmailing and acting like women need men to give them money. I'm
willing to see where it goes. It doesn't feel like the blackmail part of it is going to be the main thrust of it, just be a part of it.
It is for me to ignore bad behaviour from characters and brush it under the carpet if I like them. And other people can just like sneeze the wrong way, and I'm like, wow, well done. You've just given everyone the flu, and you're the worst person ever born, and you should probably die in a ditch, Tim.
I see. You say that, but my
what?
Timometer at the moment from love to hate is creeping up at the moment. I've not been watching Tim and going, I bloody hate you, Tim, get off the screen recently at all. I've been finding him quite funny. I'm enjoying that he's having this woman come into his life and make things difficult for him. But I don't think it's because I'm thinking, ha ha ha, you deserve everything you get, I don't like you. It's because I think he's quite funny when he's in trouble and he's getting desperate and everything. I'm finding him quite enjoyable and watchable at the moment. Maybe it is because Sally's away. And
I know, it's because the relationship between Sally and Tim's got really toxic, in my opinion. And if you're going to have this makes me laugh how, Jeff's controlling and is abusing Yasmin, but we had that to a certain extent with Tim making Sally give up being the mayor because, among
other things,
goes to show you it's what slant and spin you put on things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying Jeff is not an abuser, because he is.
Yeah. But quite a worse one than Tim as well.
It was because Tim is supposed to be a sympathetic character, and they made it so that he was justified, even though I still don't agree with it.
Yeah. But are you
any chance to crap on Tim, I'll take it.
Yeah, but are you enjoying him more? Are you?
It's definitely better when Sally's not around, and I'm sad to say that, because when they first got together, they were the dream team. We really liked Sally and Tim. They won our couple of the year. Everybody loved them. They won a comedy award, didn't they, for best partnership?
I think so.
Partnership. They were brilliant, and then it just all went wrong around the time that Sally
the last few years. Yeah, lots of people still love Tim and Sally together, and I did see some people's faith in them rocked a little bit with the Gina thing. And,
no, not me. I was like, well,
and the prison thing.
I saw this coming a mile away.
But yeah, no,
they should get divorced.
Keep it up, Tim. You're doing better, because we are, as you've seen before, we are willing to change our minds on characters that we hate. You only need to ask Leanne.
Yeah, so, but you should die in a ditch.
You never know. He's on the way up, but maybe he's a little further out of the ditch with me than Gemma. I don't know. Gemma, I've got a question for you. Can we have an earlier appointment?
Oh man, I went into a restaurant once and said I've got an appointment at 1:00, and they because I got my words confused, I meant reservation. And they were like, "What for?" I was like, "For food." It was La Parisienne in Romsey, so they looked at me like I was an idiot. Because they were.
That's what we say in English.
Yeah, sorry. Learn the language if you're going to live here. I don't have to, because I was born here, apparently. Right, so the Alia storyline. On Monday, the sous chef at the bistro is called in sick.
Oh no.
Bethany's told him he's terrible or something like that. She's being skillful, according to Ray.
Yes, he's impressed by her tactful managerial skills by telling this useless sous chef to not come into work if you can't cope or something.
Oh, do you not think that you shouldn't have a chef come to work if he's sick?
You probably shouldn't. I don't know what this was. I can't remember.
I don't think I was paying attention to this.
You weren't paying attention.
What was I doing?
Remember. Making dinner? I don't know.
Wow. If you can't make dinner and watch Coronation Street at the same time, you need to give up one of them, that's what I say. Oh, Abby is in the bistro with Ray later, and he says, I know someone who's going to be great as the manager, and I can't wait to give them the job. And Bethany's there watching, going, it's me, it's going to be me. Bethany is like convinced she's got this job, and she's telling everybody. On Wednesday, she tells Sarah, oh, I'm definitely going to get this job at the manager of the bistro. She finds Alia at the bistro in the till, like with her hands in the till, picking up £20 notes, and she's like, excuse me, what are you doing? And Alia's like, I'm just sorting the till out, there's a stain in the toilet, can you go and clean it up, please? And she's like, why? No, it's none of your business, get what you're talking about. And then she says, oh, Ray hasn't told you, has he? I'm the new manager of the bistro, it's me, Alia. This is what I was going to say to you, was something that they didn't bother telling us. Alia's obviously left Speed Dial.
Yeah.
And this never got explained.
Not really. It was like...
I don't mind so much
having... Can you miss that explanation?
I don't mind having things you have to sort of insinuate from the circumstances, because it's not like it takes a degree in rocket science to work out that she's obviously left there and gone here. It doesn't take a genius to work out that Maria and Gary have moved into their flat together they've been talking about for weeks. But it is a bit weird that you can't just spare one sentence.
She did say, I'm glad I don't need to work with Jeff anymore. I'll be glad to get away from him.
But I was saying it's a bit weird because now, I mean, I know that Yasmin is obviously working back at Speed Dial, but for a while it did seem as though, like, between Wednesday and Friday's episode, you were left thinking, well, if Alia's left Speed Dial and Jeff's not letting Yasmin leave the house because he told her that she can't cope and she's got clean, that means that he's solely in charge of Speed Dial.
Well, I think that must be where it's leading, because, Yasmin had been to work today, hadn't she? Because she went to the co-op on the way back. But when the Jeff and Yasmin storyline... No, I know, it's a little detour. When the story comes back again, I think it's going to be Jeff telling Yasmin you shouldn't be going to work, and then he is going to be
the one in charge.
King of Speed Dial.
What a coup.
I don't know whether Alia does still have a financial stake in Speed Dial.
I think she's working
two places at once because
she's
manager of the year. But that's a bit of a shame, really, because it's her brother's.
I know, it's her business. I know.
Anyway,
shocking is what it is. Bethany is also shocked. She's moping about and being sarcastic.
Yeah, she is funny.
She talks to Ray about this and he says, look, chin up. I just wanted somebody a bit more experienced than you. Why don't you become my head waitress? Which sounds like that participation trophy that people are always making fun of younger generations for having.
I think the head waitress is the person who brings a head on a silver platter. John the Baptist's head.
Yep.
Ta-da!
No, you can't eat it. It's like a garnish. It's like those fancy carrot flowers.
Oh, yeah. I've tried to.
I have to wash it off and put it on someone else's platter.
Continue.
They don't grow on trees, these John the Baptist heads, Bethany tells Daniel, who's in the cafe with Carla, about Ali getting the job, and Carla says, oh, well, you don't need to worry too much about being Ray's favourite. And then she
insinuating you had a lucky escape there.
She goes, ... Ollie's smoozing with Ray in the office, and Bethany's watching as they're kind of like, looks a bit flirty. He's inviting her to stay behind, work for a tasting. She then realises something's not right with this guy, so she starts asking around about what went on between him and Michelle, because she knows something happened. Carla eventually says, like, come here, shh, don't tell anybody. Ray is basically a sort of kind of proto-rapist. And he also made Michelle sign an NDA to say that she wouldn't say anything, and then she did. To Alia.
Yes.
What a waste of time that was. I'll tell you what, Alia's so smug about this, you can tell that something bad's going to happen to her. And it kind of, that's also a bit misogynistic, isn't it? Like, oh, the girl who wouldn't take the warning, and she gets, she's going to get taken down a peg or two.
Yeah.
Don't like that. It's a bit icky, isn't it?
Yeah.
On Friday, Bethany returns to the bistro and she goes, new strategy to get what I want. I'm just going to be a bitch to everybody and see where that gets me. She then says to Alia about, I don't understand why you're so nice to Ray, given what he did to Michelle. And Alia goes, actually, I think you'll find that... What?
No, it's just like a bit of a Hermione kind of... hair toss. I know all about that.
Actually, Ray's told me what happened, and it was actually a mutual thing that Michelle just took the wrong way. You know how you do when someone tries to rope you, and
she thinks that, I don't know.
I think she thinks that Michelle has tried to ruin Ray's reputation. Ray said to her, got out of hand, she was trying to protect herself, she said this, I'm saying that. Believe who you want to believe. It's in Alia's best interest to believe what Ray says.
Yeah.
Michelle's not here, basically, and she wants this job. She's very ambitious.
So I thought that Alia was a bit, cleverer than that, especially as she's slowly sort of taking the hints, getting the hints about what's going on with Jeff. It seems like Alia's going to be the one to take him down, and she's the only one that seems to have noticed that Yasmin's being controlled here, but this whole thing with Jeff is completely gone over her head.
I think Alia is very naive, and I think she's been quite sheltered. So I think it's difficult for her to believe this happens.
Maybe.
Because it hasn't happened to her.
She's just hanging around with nice people.
I think that she thinks that Michelle is the sort of person who might make it up. I don't know.
Michelle, a drama queen.
She hasn't got that far, but she certainly doesn't believe Michelle's side of the story. Anyway, then we move on to the more interesting part of this, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that, when we get Daniel and Bethany scene together. Yep. What happened? Oh, yeah, his manager, I really want to be the manager. And he says, wow, what's wrong? Why are you sad? And she gives him a list of the most vacuous reasons why she's sad. Like,
no, one of them's vacuous.
I've got bad hair. I don't like grey. Oh, what do I want to do with my life, or something like that? And he's like, right, your hair's great. Shut up about that. Ray, you can't do anything about. Why don't you just quit your job? What are you doing about this writing course that you bloody going on about? You wrote that bloody story about it and you ruined my whole life. Why don't you bugger off and do that somewhere? And she's like, oh, I can't do it because I'm sad about the fact I ruined Sinead's final days on Earth. And he's like, no, well, you know, bygones be bygones. She's dead now. It doesn't matter. Sinead who? And then he opens his laptop and then, oh yeah, that one. Sees a picture of her. He feels a bit guilty. He gets her to apply for this writing course, which apparently takes people all year round, which sounds sketchy to me. Starts writing this covering letter, but he gets distracted and sort of dismisses her before she's really finished doing it because Bertie's sick, and we'll find out more about that in a minute.
Didn't have his jabs, did he?
He didn't have his coronavirus jabs or whatever it is.
Yeah, you better watch out. So, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be the anti-vaxxer story that we thought it was, but Daniel's just going to, spiral down into some more depression because
I don't know. It's like a hard baby, boring, but sick.
Yeah,
aren't babies sick all the time anyway?
Well, that's what I thought.
They're always coming down with something.
But I think Daniel is going to be overly sensitive to any kind of illness or sign of anything from Bertie because of obviously with Sinead.
Well, it's not very nice when your baby's sick and you can't do anything about it, but Bertie's not even cried or anything. He's just gone a bit hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're spoiling it.
Nothing to spoil. That was...
No, we're going to get to it. We're talking now about... What do we think about Alia as a boss? Oh, boring.
I could not work for Alia.
She's such a smug
She is
dick.
so condescending.
She is so rude to everyone. She thinks she's so great.
I know.
Like, why do you think you're just useless and you're like 12? Leave me alone.
Do you remember when Robert took over the bistro and he was a bad boss and everyone wanted to leave there because he thought he was so great? I'm the best chef in Weatherfield. Alia is just exactly the same. And I'd be surprised if she doesn't have a mass walkout.
And the thing that kind of...
Daniel's not going to... Just Daniel's... He's got his job kind of waiting for him for when he wants to go back, doesn't he?
Waiting.
Can you imagine? I don't think that Daniel would want to work underneath Alia. He wouldn't put up with
Alia.
Yeah, the condescending arse.
Yeah.
And I suppose Faye maybe.
It's not justified either.
Faye's too young, I think. A boss is a boss, and she's not.
It's like she's going to come up with a brainwave like Michelle did when she was like, I know what we'll do. Let's have a lunch menu.
Well, you know, Alia is the progenitor of the coloured sports bra.
Sports bras and colours. What is she going to come up with next? Or we should charge more money for dinner. What? Right, I can't hire you any higher than manager. What about senior manager? What about CEO?
She's already CEO in her own head, that's the thing.
Let's get rid of the plastic straws.
It was kind of funny when she was telling Bethany to go and clean the toilets because obviously we as the viewers had realised, it must be Alia. But Bethany, it took a little bit longer for the penny to drop.
Bethany was like, well, I'll tell the cleaner later. And she's like, no, you won't. You do it now.
Yeah, but literally, she would be the worst kind of... She makes Michelle look good.
She makes Michelle look like a personable, reasonable human being. Can you imagine being told by Alia to clean the toilet? I think I'd quit. I would. I'd quit. I'd say, I can't. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
If I'm cleaning the toilet, I'm doing it off my own bat.
Yeah.
Because I want to clean the toilet. Because you told me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
why is she so off-putting?
I don't.
She's just smug, isn't she? And the thing is, the trouble is about it is I don't know if Corrie realises that that's what she's so annoying.
Maybe they need to play into it like they did with Kate. It took
a while for them to realise with Kate, but when they did, it felt good. It was good to watch because number one, that's the character and they leaned into it, and number two, I didn't feel like I was being treated like I was in the wrong for getting these vibes off of her, because really it was inescapable that she was a spoiled brat. Alia, condescending and smug. Let's just admit this.
Yeah, I mean, but
not every character.
That's Sally's shtick as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but not every female character has to be like either a raging bitch or a goody two-shoes. It's good that we've got a young... They don't very often like doing this with the younger female characters, but just making her standoffish and annoying gives her a bit of something different about her.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is always the potential for her to grow into it and put people in their place who actually deserve to be put in their place. But at the moment, she's just being a cow to everybody for no reason. And she has like a little Hermione as well. She's like, Ray, I did a good thing. I told Bethany to clean the toilets. Ray, pat me on the head.
He'll be patting her on the arse soon before you.
Well, you know what my prediction was for this story, and I'm not going to repeat it.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Ryan recently, have we? He needs to be mixed up in this somehow.
It makes me worry that they're setting Alia up as like...
she asked for it.
Yeah, like she's an uppity woman. Put her in her place in like the most barbaric manner possible.
They don't want to make it
because that is, and there's shades of it with Kevin as well. This real nasty streak of misogyny of like, woman doesn't do what I want. I'm gonna treat her like dirt.
Well, fortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of that this week for the story. I think Daniel is trying to get rid of Bethany.
Get rid of her.
He's not just like making her pursue her dreams. I think he realises I can't have this woman around me because I do fancy her a little bit and she's got lovely golden hair. Yeah,
it's not just that also. I think he's also... Because he said it when he heard Bertie crying in the other room and he's like, don't get stuck here like I am. I can't leave. You can. Get out of her while you can.
Yeah. You can't even...
She's boring now
You can't even get out of the house to buy a razor, for heaven's sake.
I know.
Baby shark story... what's going on? Sarah's full of the joys of spring at the beginning of Wednesday's episode, and it's not even March yet. She says, Bethany, I'm going to get a flat at Victoria Court. I'm going to do wedding planning. Man of my dreams, Adam, who I've only just really been going out with for a few months, going to get married to.
So is Sarah and Maria going to be neighbours in Victoria Court? That's going to be a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they'll play into it. Anyway, Daniel's the best man, and Bethany is asked to be the maid of honour.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Maria's off having a baby scan, and I did find her reaction quite interesting. That like I'm not after like previous baby troubles and miscarriagey things I've had. I don't want to look at this baby scan. I don't want to in any way bond with it until you tell me that it's okay.
Yeah, I would be the same. I'd be so nervous.
Yeah, because you always think that everything's going to go wrong, don't you?
Everything's always wrong until it's proven to be fine. Yeah, in my mind.
Yeah, but luckily the scan's there and the little baby shark's swimming about inside her tum-tum, so she's okay. All good.
I also don't like to say this because we were born in the same year, but she's also getting a bit old. Perhaps that's playing on her mind.
37's fine. Maybe, I don't know.
Apparently, wasn't it 60%? Wasn't it Roy that was saying this? Yes.
Roy's 60%. Brilliant. I love Roy.
60% chance of conception in a woman over the age of 40 with regular...
Sexual intercourse. He said sexual intercourse.
He said it on the television.
He was great. He was basically, if you're at it like rabbits, then it's not actually a miracle because Maria spends the rest of the episode wafting all these photos around saying, look at my baby with Gary, it's a miracle.
And he's like, if you have sex without a condom, baby, that's what happens.
Yeah. So anyway...
and they went,
Yeah. She goes to see Roy, she goes out to the Rovers, Sarah's there kind of sniping away, and so Maria accuses her of being jealous, and that just turns into a little bitching session between them.
She's already had a baby she didn't want.
Yeah.
So why should she be jealous of someone else?
And then on to Wednesday's episode, Sarah's saying to Maria, look, I'm not jealous actually, I just don't want it on my conscience when Gary ends up bedding another woman or somebody ends up dead again. I'm just trying to protect
and you. She said this, it wasn't even like in a sarcastic way.
No.
It sounds like she was being sarcastic, but she wasn't. She was like, listen, just want to say, just in case.
I don't want to have regrets.
So don't watch out because he's going to cheat on you or someone's going to die.
Yeah, which is what she thinks happens later when he's there on the phone telling somebody...
Maria does.
Yeah, but Gary's there on the phone telling somebody that he loves them and he wishes he could be with them all the time. Sorry, I can't. So Maria immediately jumps on this and thinks, who's your other woman? But obviously, it's not another woman. Gary does not have someone. Although I think for a split second, we thought, who is he talking to?
Yeah.
I thought that he was maybe talking to Zach because for some reason I'd forgotten about the son that he actually has on the show. And I was thinking about this one in Bristol. But yeah, he's talking to Jake. He's too busy loan sharking and furniture dealing at the moment to be able to spend time with his poor son.
Yeah, but he said said, "Oh, I'll find time to sneak off at the weekend." Not something you'd say to your son.
No, it seemed like
Really
the sort of thing
poor-
that you would say if you want your girlfriend to overhear you and think
Yeah.
that maybe you're having an affair with another woman.
Yeah.
So just watch your choice
Just
of words,
remember
Gary.
that next time, Gazza.
Anyway, she reckons that it's a secret woman. He says it's not. Blah blah blah. They make up later, and Maria proves just how much she's cool with Gary seeing other women because Nicola texts him and says, "Oh, can you come round? You can come and
come to
Zach."
Bristol.
Yeah. Me and my lover come down to Bristol. See your
Come
other
get some
son.
cider and some lovely food with
You think
me and my
Nick
son.
should come back with the accent next time she's on the show? She's like really heavily Bristolian. That'd be quite funny. I wonder if she can do it. Anyway, that's that.
Boring.
It's boring. It's all boring, that story.
Baby's goner.
Luckily, it was very, very short.
I reckon that baby's a goner.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably, for the best you're allowed to say that. It's not a real baby.
And don't believe, it's all fine. No.
Well, speaking of goners, Gemma, the last storyline saw 2 exits from the Platt family and the Shona goes comatose just for Monday.
Yeah, well, David tells Nick he's going to spend as much time as he can with Shona before she goes away forever to the impenetrable lands of Leeds, which is at least 3 wagon rides from Weatherfield.
That's where Jack P. Shepherd comes from.
Imagine
He's a Leeds
that.
lad.
Well, that's an Easter egg then, isn't it?
Yes.
Nick's trying to...
Leeds egg?
No, shut
that
up.
doesn't work.
Shut up. Nick's trying to cheer him up, probably with some terrible puns. Then David says to Max, "Oh, I've got to go to Leeds, and this is going to be really difficult." I don't understand what the plan is. It seems to me like he's deciding he's moving to Leeds, but he isn't, because Lily's still around. And so he says to Max, "Do you know what? You're too much of a hard hassle for me. Bugger off to your grandma's and stay with her."
Yeah, not
forever, but just we're not going to see you again for a few months. Go away.
Yeah.
Just seem really weird, don't you
go
think?
live with Orgy or anything.
Lily's not going to be in it anymore.
Well, he just says, "Oh, Lily's too young, so I can look after her."
Yeah, what?
But to be honest, Lily has got nothing to do with Marion. She's not related to Marion, is she?
Wouldn't you be like, Max needs to stay to help me look after Lily? Max is old enough to look after his sister now.
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense at all. But basically, the week ends with Marion taking Max away for a few days, in inverted commas, to look after him. Lily just sort of like being stuck in a cupboard, I guess. And David wheeling Shona in the hospital away to Leeds, going on a trip, and her sitting there like she's being kidnapped by a crazy man, which isn't far off the truth.
Yeah. So, that's the last we've seen of Shona for a little while. But what about Max?
I don't understand what's going on. My prediction, remember my beginning of the year prediction was that David was going to become obsessed with Shona being in a coma and he wouldn't want to leave her side, and then Marion would think he was neglecting Max and try to go for custody and get him taken away from David. And it seems like it sort of just happened.
Yeah, well, she might still try and go to custody. Maybe when he's has an extended time under her influence and he becomes a reformed character, maybe with a new head.
Maybe.
But she says like, "Oh, he's better off with me." Yeah, it definitely felt like a goodbye for Max. It felt like a long goodbye for Max, and I just do wonder whether it was a goodbye to Harry and whether this is the last time we've seen him playing.
I know, but we say things like this, and then he'll probably be back next week going, "Yeah, it was great. I stayed at my grand's house for the weekend." Like, what are we doing, David?
I know, it just really, really felt like this is an end, and you know, he's ripe for recasting. He's the right kind of age for it.
He's a bit young.
No, I don't know.
How old is he?
What,
I think
13?
you're being a bit previous. They'd have to cast him with somebody who's 18, wouldn't they? Otherwise, there's literally no point. They're going to have to replace him with somebody
come back and be Adam Rickett, like
finish their education, because there's no point replacing a child actor. Well, that's what, finish your education, whether you've decided you don't want to do it or you've completed qualifications or whatever.
Done everything that your stage pushy
whenever
mum
you can be
thinks that you
bothered
need to do.
Yeah. There's no point replacing him with anyone else, because they'll be under the same issues that you get with child actors, and that they have exams and stuff to do.
Well, we'll see. I don't think we're going to find out for a long time.
Do you not agree with that point?
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
I think you're being a bit...
It's only
premature.
a possibility. It's only a possibility. I didn't even think it straight away until I think it was it Rebecca that said on Twitter or something, I think that Max might be recast, and I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe.
But it will have to be with an 18-year-old or
16.
Above. No, you have to go to college.
Do you have to now?
Yeah. I think you have to do 2 years of higher education.
Not these acting children. They have different rules for them.
I'm doing a qualification in drama.
There is such a thing, I hear. I thought.
Well, no, but you don't go. Oh, yeah. You can do 2 years at college for a drama, or you can just get a job on a national soap.
Yeah, get an honorary A level.
You might even get to Best Newcomer award.
It wouldn't surprise me, but we'll see. I'm not like that really fussed either way.
Harsh.
So
rude.
It's going to be a while. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back and he'll be a hunk and he'll have his own little story, but who knows?
No. You can't have even if you have an 18 or a 16-year-old playing this child, he's still 13 in the show. You can't come back with his top off.
That's true, actually.
It's gross.
He could. Well, no. Yeah, but he could. No, I don't know.
No.
Do you remember how cute he used to be when he was little?
Yes.
He was flipping adorable 10 years ago, Max.
Pinch his little cheeks.
Right.
Done.
That
was a week.
That was this
Too
week
long.
of Street War. No, that's fine. Great Stape stuff. It was all very delightfully silly, and I don't care
The Great
that
Stape
other people
Escape.
thought it was silly. Yes. Great Stape
Where was
Escape.
I when you were coming up with these ideas?
Oh, that's a good one. And because, to be honest, I mean, I like the Charlie stuff. A lot of the other stories.
I said, oh, well, I do.
Yeah. I didn't particularly find the winter stuff that exciting, but it wasn't very long. I didn't particularly find the Alia, Maria, Sarah. I didn't find that interesting, but it didn't really feel like it was taking up very much of my viewing time this week. So I'm not going to make that I'm not going to dock too many points from it. I'm gonna go straight in there with a 4 little hot dog stands outside Main Road out of 5.
Interesting.
Thank you.
I'm going to give it 3.5 because I was not impressed particularly with the Bethany and Daniel
I wasn't
rubbish.
either, but I just think because it didn't feature very heavily.
There was a very bad reaction on Facebook for today's episode. I didn't like it.
I haven't seen. I didn't mind it.
Well, you gave it 4, so you must have liked it. I'm giving it 3.5. 3.5 big cups of tea and a whole packet of custard creams for Evelyn. Should have given it 3.5 dodgy wine stains on the carpet. Who's your character of the week, though?
I don't know.
Difficult because
I've got to pick somebody from this story.
Which story?
The Jade story.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Charlie.
Oh yeah,
even though she's a money grubbing gold digger. He's giving women a bad name.
So why are you picking her?
Because I love her.
Good first impression.
I think she's really bubbly and lovely and smiley and great, and I like the fact that she is a middle-aged woman who is, come onto the street and she's made a great impression. She's bubbly and sweet, and she's also got a bit of a nasty streak to her, and she clearly is a bit ruthless, and I think that's good. It's boring to have people that are nicey nice all the time. Couldn't pick a better victim if she tried, as far as I'm concerned, in the form of Tim. And so much potential too for like you said about her behind the bar and Sally there sniffing into her white wine, getting all snooty about the fact that her husband's first wife is behind the bar, probably making snidey comments about being a barmaid, which
yeah. Okay. It's so easy to just go for Evelyn, isn't it? But I don't want to keep picking Evelyn, and it's got to now be like a real classic Evelyn week for it, and it was just a usual very good
very
week
high
for
standard,
Evelyn.
which is not good enough
so
for an award anymore.
I think I'm going to go for old Fizz Bomb, because when she exploded on Wednesday night and whacked Jade round the head with a chopping board, I was like, this is great. I love this sort of stuff. She always acts before she thinks. So in character, but you know what? She was worried about her daughter. She would do anything for her daughter. Despite the fact that there may be silly consequences, and I'm not a parent, of course, but I do wonder if we had kids, would we do anything for them, including smacking someone around the head with a chopping board, breaking into their house, going up into their attic,
but
lying to the police?
If somebody knew where your child, you didn't know where your child was, and you suspected somebody did, would you want to knock them unconscious, or would you want them to say where the kid is?
I know. I'm going with Fizz, and also the fact that she's not negotiating with the blackmailer at the end of the episode, because that is the right way to act with those sorts of people.
As we've said before, you need to just imagine that this woman has stolen Abby.
I know.
And so you probably would hit her with a chopping board, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
And then the difference between me and Fizz is Fizz hit her around the head with the chopping board and she fell on the floor, and Fizz went, oh no. I would have gone, smack, smack, smack. Now she's dead.
Yeah.
But that's just
you, right. That's
not
it for
really
Street Talk.
cases is being issued in court against me in the future.
I think it's time to move on to the next section.
Let's do the middle bit.